So 2002, I didn't know this. Now I just remember this. The Kings had the best record in the West.
Wow.
So we actually weren't we were the team.
No, they had the 1 seed. They lost at home.
Yeah.
At game 7.
Yeah. All right. Bibby hits the game 5 winner at Arco. Game 6, the Kings are up 3-2. In the fourth quarter, the Lakers take 27 free throws. I mean, this is so awful. If you can go picture in picture on this, pull up the Scott Pollard pinky foul on Shaq. Shaq's going for a skyhook. Pollard, literally, his pinky hit.
And I think Lottie hit it first. I think it was almost tipped, wasn't it?
It's crazy. And they call the foul. So both Pollard and Vlade foul out of that game. And they got to go to Lawrence Funderburk.
Damn.
And they still somehow stay in the game. It's a true fucking miracle.
Funderburk is definitely the name as your third string center.
I mean, yeah, it sounds...
Even you're like, fucking Funderburk. You're just annoyed.
Yeah, and at that point, you're just like, good job, Lawrence. You're doing your best. I'm going to ask Mike Bibby
God bless
about...
his heart.
I'm gonna ask Mike about this when Mike gets on. There's this very famous inbound where Mike is checking Kobe. Kobe does the jab and goes around and then does the elbow.
Elbows him in the head.
To Bibby's head.
In front of the ref looking.
In front of the ref.
I remember that.
And they call the foul on Bibby.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the point. I wasn't even... I could kind of believe the foul trouble, even though it was all bullshit. It was that moment where I was like, oh, okay. Because every angle was like, oh, he hit him.
Sports media world.
Oh, they bashed it. Yeah. So Simmons, when he was writing for ESPN at the time,
yeah.
ESPN, everybody was like, this is one of the worst officiated games
in the history of sport.
Yeah,
they were saying, not even just basketball.
Yeah.
They were saying history of sport.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of sports, you understand how much needs to align to even get to this place.
Perfectly.
Like the luck, because you have the talent, but you need luck too. There's teams like the Houston Rockets with with Yao and T-Mac.
Yeah.
The stars never aligned for them. They had the talent.
Yeah.
Battier, Alston, that was a good team.
Totally.
But it didn't work out. This team, it worked out for them. They're the 1 seed. They're there. This is a loaded West. The Spurs had MVP Duncan this year, who the fucking Lakers, I believe.
Yeah, so you get 5. Yeah, and if you get
and they're taking the Lakers.
Sweep.
Yeah, and if you take the Lakers, you get to the Nets. That's a ring. So the reason why I'm harping on 2002,
that was the championship.
Yeah, it's basically whoever's in the West versus nobody. No disrespect to the Nets, but they
didn't have the fire. They had an incredible Jason Kidd, a beast in Kmart.
Sacramento would have been a better matchup for them, though.
Yeah.
It's Shaq.
They wouldn't have gotten swept.
Yeah,
but I bet it would have been a 5-game series, 6 tops, because Sac legitimately had like an 8-man squad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It hurts, dude. I think of the Knicks in 93, 94. That was my intro to basketball disappointment, but we didn't lose because of the refs. We lost because John Starks, my favorite player, shot 2 for 18.
Yeah.
Riley, that was his guy. He goes, I'm sticking with the guy who brought us here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take him out. He related a lot to Starks. Starks kind of shot us out of the game. Starks also missed. He got blocked by Olajuwon in game 6.
Yep.
From 3. I mean, so... We lost. We got outplayed. Olajuwon was phenomenal. The Rockets were a great team.
You're a pro, man. So we're fans, right?
Yeah.
To what extent do refs play a role in momentum in the fourth quarter? It's huge, right?
I've
seen Super Bowls go the other way because of shit like that.
Well, the pass interference kind of penalties where you can get 65, 70 yards on a fucking one penalty. A lot of the times, I mean, that's a momentum killer and a momentum gainer for the other team. But in football, it's different because there's like multiple situations. The game really never comes down to just one play. Really, it doesn't. And I don't know if that's because that's how I've been trained by Bill Belichick. Like, look, we didn't lose it on this one. We fucking couldn't do good on third down. We did, we hear that shit.
Yeah.
So that adds up. But I mean, those kill momentum, I would say, not necessarily outcomes of games.
Okay.
Because the momentum can get flipped any second.
Yeah, I just feel like for me watching it, the way
different in basketball though.
Yeah,
I'm not a basketball guy. I'm not a pro guy in basketball. It's completely different. That's like a wave because they're moving the whole time.
Well, the playoffs in basketball,
you know what I mean? That's wave.
I mean, because fouls are just kind of not called the same way in the playoffs, except for this.
Yeah.
Usually basketball in the playoffs, the expression is let them play.
Yeah. So there was some. There were even the feeling that we had was when they started to call even offensive fouls. So there's another play in game 6 where Weber's doing that thing where he just always squares up. Like, remember, he'd like bring the ball low like this, and then he'd do this. he puts it on the ground for one and then pulls up for a jumper. Robert Horry flops.
Full flop.
Just full flop.
Yeah, I remember.
Full Oscar performance.
Left elbow.
And they call an offensive foul.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, they don't call that in the NBA playoffs in the third and fourth quarter. It's just kind of the egregious, like ticky-tack.
Like Jordan.
Yeah. So,
and I'm not putting them in the same category as far as like who gets the call and doesn't, but like this is the playoff. You gotta let the boys play.
So if anybody wants to get into it and is like, what are they talking about? There's a Netflix documentary series where Donaghy's in it. And he basically talks about during that era in the NBA, there were certain teams and there were certain refs that were company men and they wanted certain players and certain teams to do well.
Yeah, I believe it was like Team 5, Team 6 thing. That doc. I watched that doc.
Yeah, and there's a podcast called Whistleblower that's the same stuff. A lot of guys are like, yeah, we got Donaghy.
It's a momentum thing. So anyways, what they could do is they could throttle the game. Meaning one of the things Donaghy talks about in the doc is like, he's like, hey, listen, I can call Iverson for carrying 3 or 4 possessions in a row. I can take him out of the game. So what you can do is you can create a 6 to 10 point differential. If you're a competitive team, that's everything you needed. So for the Kings, you call a couple of offensive fouls on Weber, you put him in foul trouble. You put him in that 4 or 5 foul range. You get Vlade out of the game. You have Scott Pollard on Shaq. So you can throttle the game in such a way that those points that we would have had between the two of them, now we're down 10. Now we're down 14. So the fact that we, even though it was cooked, we still got that far. That's the part where I'm like beyond livid.
It's brutal. I mean, because look, we know how rare this is, and Zach has been.
And you played on a winning team, so you don't know how rare it is to have your moment. It's such a small moment. The Knicks had this
as a fan. Yeah. I mean, the Knicks, I think, right now are in a better place than the Kings. The Kings, I don't love. They just paid Fox so much money.
Small town team, or what is it called? Small market team. I mean, it's different. That's what they live and breathe over there. Yeah. It's almost like a college environment.
Yeah. So you needed 2 centers to guard him because you're going to take the full 6 for your main guy, and you need a backup center to take another 6.
Yep.
That was the Hack-a-Shack thing. That's why he was so dominant. He did.
But he shot like 72% in this game too. So
it's crazy.
The
game series. 6. Yeah. The game 6, he shoots crazy from the line. It's nuts.
I make him when it counts. That's what he says, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if is actually true, but it sounds good.
Now my theory is, Laker fans, go back and watch the tape. The reason why he hit it from a high percentage was he crosses the fucking line every time he shoots the free throw. It's a lane violation.
Wow.
Every time.
Right foot
This is riddled with conspiracy theories.
Right foot in.
Yeah.
And then
who's reffing?
Donaghy.
Oh, it's our boy, Donaghy. You know the dude. Mouth kissing Barkley, hugging Reggie Miller. Oh, you think it's just a coincidence?
Wow.
Okay.
This is like if QAnon was right.
Yeah,
that's what this is. This is like it goes that deep.
It goes that deep.
This is basketball.
How many more free
Pizzagate.
throws? The free throw like stat was insane too. I think it was like
27 to 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
In the fourth, 27 free throws in the fourth quarter
to the 9.
What do you say to then the Laker fans in this game? Bibby hits the game winner. What do you say to these fans who say that it was clearly a moving screen on Weber, who knocks Derek Fisher, a great defender, on his ass for Bibby to hit that shot?
We can watch it 3 different angles. We can cue it up. We got a MacBook right here. We can cue it up.
Let's do this like the JFK tape.
We can do it. Which angle do you want it from? He plants.
Yeah.
I mean, Bibby was. C-Web was fucking jacked then. This is peak C-Web. This is when he was dating Tyra Banks. Fucking
I forgot about that.
Remember the Dada commercials? I mean, this is peak C-Web. C-Web was like...
He's a handsome guy.
Handsome dude. He still looks great. By the way, shout out to C-Web.
He does. Aging like fine wine.
Like fine wine.
Black don't crack, baby.
Yeah, man. He looks fantastic. It's a clean screen. And then Bibby does what he does. He hits that amazing, probably 17 to 19 footer. Splash.
That's how
you know it's not luck.
Yeah.